Good morning, Year 9 and 10. This is Radioactivity Lesson 8. So today's driving question, why is radioactive waste dangerous? Okay, having a think about this question on the board. So after uranium has been used in a nuclear power station, what do we do with it? Can we just throw it away? Pause to have a think about the question. Okay, so with uranium is classed as high level waste. That's what HLW means, high level waste. So it's very radioactive for tens of thousands of years. So what do you actually think we can do with this high level waste? So this is a think, pair, share activity. So think about it on your own, then go and discuss it with someone else in your house, okay, before going through the answers. Press pause to have a go. Okay, so this high level waste then, possible things we could do with it. We could put it into deep boreholes in solid rock. We could dispose of it at sea in special containers. We can bury it under the seabed. We could continue to store it above ground. We could launch it into space. Or we could dispose of it at the edges of tectonic plates in the Earth, so it's dragged into the Earth's mantle. So those are some possible ideas. Let's have a look at some problems with some of these. Okay, so firing into space, dumping in barrels at sea, storage underground. What problems do you think there might be with disposing the high level waste with this method? Have a go at the think, pair, share exercise. So think about it on your own and go and discuss it with someone else in your house. Press pause to have a go. Okay, so firing it into space. Some problems then. The launch vehicle could fall back to Earth, spreading radioactive material all over a wide area. If we dump them in barrels at sea, the barrels can corrode, so they can rust, and that could release radioactive materials, which could then enter the food chain. Storage underground. Site needs to be geologically stable. So, for example, very low risk of earthquakes. Otherwise, there could be a problem and there could be a leakage. Okay, so those are just a few of the problems to think about. Okay, so we're going to move on to the main part of the task. This is an IT task, so this link will be on your Show My Homework under Extra Resources for Lesson 8. Okay, as will this table here. Okay, that you can either type straight into and then print it if you have a printer at home, or you could sketch out the table and jot down your answers. So the first task, grade 1 to 3, state how to handle radioactive sources safely. Okay, so what sort of things do you think we need to do? So this could be done in nuclear power stations, this could be done in school, okay, by a teacher. What safety precautions do you think we have to take in order to handle these sources carefully? So you will find some information on the link, the BBC Bite-sized link. There is also some extra information on the slides that are on your Show My Homework Extra Resources assignment. Grade 4 to 5, define radioactive waste and irradiation. The grade 6 to 7 is comparing the hazards associated with contamination and radioactive waste. And grade 8 to 9 is to explain why it is important for the findings of studies into the effects of radiation on humans to be published and shared with other scientists so that the findings can be checked by peer review. Okay, so it's quite a lengthy question, that one, to answer. Okay, so have a go. So press pause, okay, and have a go at the task. Okay, so if you can now pick up your green pen or different colour pen, please, and mark and correct your work and add any extra detail. So the first task, safety precautions when handling radioactive sources. So wearing a lab coat, always wearing gloves when handling these substances, wear shoe covers in rooms where the floor may be contaminated, and keep personal items such as handbags, etc. outside of the lab. Okay. Grade 4 to 5 definition. So radioactive waste is a type of hazardous waste that contains radioactive material, whereas irradiation is the process by which an object is exposed to radiation. Press pause to mark and correct and add any extra detail to your work. Okay, grade 6 to 7. So low types of waste. Examples might be clothing, paper towels, medical equipment, because don't forget radioactive sources are used in hospitals. okay, as tracers, or they're used in radiotherapy to help kill cancerous cells. Okay, so these are only slightly radioactive pieces of equipment, so they can be compacted, so that means squashed, and then buried in special landfill sites. They can't just go to ordinary landfill because they are still radioactive. Whereas intermediate waste, so such as fuel cladding inside a nuclear reactor, so in a nuclear power station, okay, this will be radioactive for tens of thousands of years. Okay, so it needs to be contained in concrete and steel drums to keep the radiation inside. Okay, and then it will be buried. High level waste, so the actual spent nuclear fuel, the uranium that might be used in a nuclear power station that's been used, it's got nothing left in it, but it is still very, very radioactive. It will be reclassified as intermediate waste after a few years, but that means it's still radioactive for tens of thousands of years. Okay, that will also be contained in concrete and steel drums. Press pause to add to your answers, please. And grade 8 to 9. So when scientists conduct an experiment and analyse the results, the next step is to write up a report that describes the experiment and the results and submit it for publication in a scientific or medical journal that's peer-reviewed. Peer-reviewed means that this paper is analysed by fellow scientists, so they will evaluate the methods used and identify any potential flaws in logic or methodology, so that's methods, that might shed doubt on the findings. So it's basically criticised by peer fellow scientists, so that the work is checked to make sure that it is valid and it can be published. So publishing results of research projects in peer-reviewed journals enables the scientific and medical community to evaluate the findings themselves. It also provides instructions so that other researchers can repeat the experiment or build on it to verify and confirm the results. Researchers' publication records carry a great deal of weight when they apply for academic posts or research grants, and in their reputation in the scientific community. Okay, because it means their work, because it's been published, it's been checked, it's been okayed to be able to be published so that other people can use it and read it. Okay, so it carries a huge deal of weight. Okay, if they are then trying to apply for grants and money to want to do further research, their work has already been credited as saying, yes, this person knows what they're doing and has done it well. Press pause to add to your answers. Okay, so your today I achieved sentence. So today I achieved state, explain, use or combine. Because I can, if you write what's next to the word in your table, please, you can summarise it if you wish. Press pause to complete. And finally, don't forget to do your 10-question quiz on Show My Homework, please. The quiz results will be emailed to your parents or carers. Thank you, Year 9 and 10, and have